On today's video, the Chiefs activate Clyde Edwards-Helaire as they send Mecole Hardman to the IR. What does that mean for the Super Bowl? Plus, the Eagles open as a 2.5-point favorite. We're going to talk about all that and more. Stick around.
What's happening, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're still pumped to get to the Super Bowl here, baby. If you are too, make sure to hit that like button. The Chiefs have went and done exactly what everyone expected. Mecole Hardman is going to the IR, and they have put Clyde available for the Super Bowl now. So, Mike, what do you think about that initially?
Hey, this is what we said they were going to do. We said that a few videos ago. We said Mecole Hardman was probably not going to play in the Super Bowl. Andy didn't think it was going to happen. He did re-aggravate that entire injury. I don't know what it is. Pelvis, stomach.
Vagina.
Right. His days as a Chief may be over, sadly. I like Mecole Hardman. We'll see. But they have activated Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I like Clyde. Clyde looked good before he left. He is injury prone. I get it. But that's a little bit of a kink we can throw in this offense that he don't have a lot of game film this year, and we can see maybe Andy and Eric drawing up some plays in the Super Bowl and using Clyde Edwards-Helaire to our advantage.
Right. Well, I'm on the flip side of that. I don't want Clyde to play. I want Clyde to be the healthy body on the sideline if we need him. But otherwise, let's stick to our formula here, man, because I don't want to see that messed up. I still like what we have with Pacheco, McKinnon, back forth. Remember, early in the season, we weren't big fans of having 15 running backs out there. Nobody could get in a groove. There was no set anything. I'm still there. I think that Ronald Jones and CEH should be on that sideline unless they are needed because of injuries or something like that. Otherwise, keep doing what we do.
So I'll give you that. Three's too many. But here's what I'm expecting. As long as Pacheco gets the 99% of the running downs and then the passing downs, you can maybe slide out McKinnon for Clyde in that situation. I'll take it because Clyde's a pretty good blocker as well to protect Mahomes. It just depends. Go with a hot hand there maybe, but do not take it away from Pacheco on the ground. I think Pacheco is one of those backs where the more carries he gets, the more physical he gets, the less people want to hit him. I don't want to see his carries fall down to 4 or 5 and then Clyde gets 4 or 5, and then McKinnon gets 4 or 5, and at the end of the day, we got 15 carries and nobody got in a groove.
I'm just not a big fan of these two guys doing all the legwork, doing all the hard work with a little bit of help from Ronald Jones when needed, and then Clyde just popping up in the Super Bowl. Hey, I'm going to play now. I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like it throws off the whole juju of the whole offense. It also seems like unfair. In my opinion,
do you think he's really in game shape though? I don't see him playing more than 5 to 10 plays.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see the reason to have him out there, to be quite honest about it. I just really don't. I think that it's good that he's back and he's healthy. Don't get me wrong, but it's good to have that extra healthy body on the sideline. And if something were to go down and McKinnon were to suffer an injury, okay, cool. Let's throw Clyde in there. Something like that. But otherwise, let's just leave it alone, man. Let's leave it alone.
So what do you think? If Clyde plays, if he don't play, is Clyde coming back next season?
No, I see no reason for Clyde to be here next year. I just don't. Like, in my opinion, him and Mecole Hardman are kind of on the same boat. As of late, Mecole Hardman's been kind of like Clyde. Like, he can't really stay on the field. He stays hurt. Both of them are like kind of weird draft picks to me. Mecole Hardman and Clyde Edwards-Helaire are Brett Veach's worst draft picks outside of Breeland Speaks, in my opinion, because Clyde was a reach. Cole Hardman was a reach. We missed out on Jonathan Taylor and DK Metcalf because we took those two people. Hindsight's 2020, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you. Even if Clyde was to play, rip off a couple touchdowns, I still don't know if he'll be back as the full-time starter next year. Pacheco's that guy.
So Vegas went ahead and dropped the first betting line of the Super Bowl. They have put the Eagles at the 2.5 favorite. Mike, you called that. I kind of thought the Chiefs should have the edge, but they went ahead and went with the Eagles. What do you think the reasoning was there?
Injuries. It's as simple as that. Mahomes is still playing on a high ankle sprain. We've now sent Mecole Hardman to IR. We have a lot of banged up players on defense. You have Snead, you have Willie Gay. Look at our receiving core. The only healthy one right now is MVS 100%. And probably Sky Moore, which was still dealing with a little bit of hand laceration against the Raiders back in December. So MVS may be the only healthy guy there. They're just taking a shot on the Eagles having lots of big bodies on the trenches, offense, defensive line, good defense, and they see the Chiefs' offenses. It may sputter a little bit due to a lot of injury concerns. And I'm right there with them. I think 2.5 was about right.
Right, but this thing's going to move. It always does, depending on who bets on who and all that. How do you think it sticks by the time the Super Bowl comes around? Do you think it's still going to be a 2.5 dog for the Chiefs, or do you think that it's going to be flipped just like the Bengals game did?
Patrick Mahomes not been an underdog a lot in his career. I want to say it's only been 1 or 2 times. I don't know. By the end of it, by the end of the Bengals, game, that the spread was back in our favor and Mahomes was not the underdog.
Right.
I see it sticking. I see it sticking this time. I don't know. I think the majority of the public, the majority of the betting public will come in, try to get some easy money with the Eagles. Everybody's talking about how the Eagles are going to beat the Chiefs and the Chiefs don't stand a chance. I think they fooled everybody into thinking that the Chiefs are pretenders. I don't know where they're getting that. It's just the fact that everybody hates the Chiefs. They love to hate the Chiefs, and I think it'll stick. I think Mahomes will be an underdog. I wouldn't want to be an Eagles player with the Chiefs and this team being an underdog. Let's put it that way.
Right. Well, I'm not even playing the underdog story, but just the fact that people would consider Mahomes an underdog in a Super Bowl is absolutely outrageous to me. I mean, he's going up against a good team, don't get me wrong, but they're led by Jalen Hurts, who's like a second year player. He's a run first quarterback. Yeah, he had a great year. He really did have a great year, don't get me wrong, but you're talking about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback that we've ever seen play football. End of story. He's not the most accomplished, he's not the most decorated, but he's the best quarterback we've ever seen play. And I think it's just so weird that you would want to consider him an underdog in the Super Bowl of all things. This is on the biggest platform.
So Vegas has released some prop bets. They're kind of telling. The props say the highest rusher will be the Eagles' Miles Sanders. They only put him at 60 yards, which means they do not believe Pacheco can get out and run on these guys. That's kind of a shot to our offensive line and Pacheco and the dog that he is. I think we'll come out and hold that against him. Jalen Hurts, they have him like rushing for say 40 to 60, somewhere in that range. I don't remember the exact number, but not a lot on the ground for him. And through the air, they've got his number at like 160. Mahomes, on the other hand, they've got him over 200, 230, 240, somewhere in that range. So I think they believe the Chiefs can move the ball through the air. The Eagles are going to beat us on the ground, which is exactly what we said they were going to try to do. I think it all boils down to our defense. Can we keep Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders in check, make Jalen Hurts beat us with his arm? I think if they do that, they can't do that. I don't think Jalen Hurts can beat us with his arm.
Did you happen to see the Madden simulation that they released?
I
The
didn't.
game EA Sports actually put it out. It was a commercial. It had Chad Johnson, Ojocinco driving, and started seeing things. He was in the desert driving. All of a sudden, he seen Jalen Hurts pop up, and they seen Patrick Mahomes pop up, and he got to watch the whole game. And they actually had the Eagles winning 34-17. And he was like, did anybody else just see that? And he drove off. Like that was there. That's what EA Sports has come up with. I just think it's crazy to me. I mean, color me stupid, but why in the world would anybody be saying that Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, the team that's been to three of the last four Super Bowls, is the dog here? I don't understand it, but it is what it is, man.
I'm gonna
It's
give
not
you. I'm gonna
surprising.
give you. I'm gonna give you one more thing here. Nick Sirianni. This is his first time being here. Andy Reid is essentially coming off a
Right.
bye week. Do not downplay this coaching matchup because the Chiefs have a big advantage there.
Let's go ahead and move on, man. The NFL's taking a look at hip drop tackles. We're talking about banning them completely. I think that comes as a result of what you saw Arden Key do to Patrick Mahomes, to be quite honest about it. Now, we could talk about that a million times and go back and forth over whether that was intentional or not, because if you slow it down, you can see Arden Key look to see where he's dropping. You can see him stick his knee out further to hit the leg. So you can say it was on purpose, but you also have to remember that was that quick. So maybe it wasn't. But either way, the NFL's taking a look at this, Mike. Initially, I think it's kind of stupid. Like we can't, hamper these defensive players anymore. It's just getting ridiculous. What do you think about it?
Yeah, this also happened to Tony Pollard of the Cowboys, I believe, hurt himself. Yeah, they're going to take a look at it. They're always going to look at player safety. It's always going to get called more when quarterbacks get thrown into the mix. Mahomes, that's a very good example you give. I just don't see how you can do it. It's just part of the game. You got to tackle somehow. If you wrap them
Right.
up, how are you supposed to get them to the ground if you don't fall? Like, I don't understand
Exactly.
that. So far, we can't hit a quarterback high. We can't hit a quarterback low. We can't hit them too hard. We can't land on them. We can't look at them. You can't touch
Right.
them. Even when they don't call it, when Frank Clark touches Burrow, it was a disaster. When
You
they
think
touch Mahomes out of bounds, it's a disaster. Like, what?
you think
Nobody
it's
knows
just
what they want.
it's the natural progression to get to that Pro Bowl game, man. It's the
Yeah,
natural progression. They're trying to get us to that flag football. They have to know that people don't want to watch this garbage. And like you said, they have to look at it for player safety purposes. But as far as like the players union goes and everything, I'd be hard pressed to think they would want to do something about that, because I mean, eventually you're just hurting yourselves if you keep, changing the game and making it impossible for defenders, and it's just not even fun to watch anymore. Ultimately, you're hurting yourselves. You're hurting the whole product. It just seems crazy to me. Like you said, once you wrap up somebody, how else do you tackle them besides go down? That's just the basics. That's gravity. That's football. That's real life. So yeah, go ahead and look at it all you want, but I think trying to change that or ban a hip drop tackle. I mean, let's look at it real quick. Everything's up for debate. Everything's judgment call to these referees. So who's to say what is exactly a hip drop tackle and what's not, and who's to say that that's not going to get abused when someone just makes a regular tackle? Oh well, he dropped. He dropped. That's a hip drop tackle. It's just one of those things, man. Just leave it alone and let's play
Well,
some football.
you've kind of made it to where once the running back, ball carrier, receiver, whoever it is gets by you, you cannot tackle them from behind anymore because how else are you going to tackle them? You're not going to be able to run
Right.
through them from behind. So basically you can't horse collar tackle them. You can't, I don't know. Like, so you just
Like
can't
trip
grab them.
them.
Yeah, you can't trip. So you can't do anything. You can't do this. It's ridiculous. I mean, injuries happen. It's a tough game. Yeah, it sucks. We've seen the worst of it with Patrick Mahomes. He's had to deal with it. We may lose the Super Bowl, not because of it, but it could play a big role. Who knows? But you can't do it. Football's football. But let's get on to Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady cannot seem to just go away. He has to be the center of attention. He retires, right here before the Super Bowl. And then today he releases a half naked picture of himself. This guy just likes the spotlight, don't he, Steve?
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. It's like you couldn't make it to the Super Bowl in your final season, so how else can you get all the attention, all eyes on me? Tom Brady is definitely an attention hog. There's a lot of Tyreek Hill and Tom Brady, but people don't want to talk about that. But he released a picture of him in his underwear, and I think it's supposed to promote some kind of Brady brand underwear and stuff like that. But it's just stupid to me. It's like it's dumb. No one wants to see that. I mean, I'm sure somebody wants to see it, but no one wants to see that. Like, I think someone actually commented, it might have been one of our players, or no, it was Tyreek Hill actually. He commented and said, Brady retires and turns into AB real fast. And I mean, yeah, I mean, why is he doing this? This is crazy. So, do you think Fox appreciates that? They're going to give him $365 million next year to commentate, and he's out here, putting out underwear pics and acting weird. This is a 45-year-old man we're talking about.
Dude, you know what? I don't care what he does, but he's missing a golden opportunity if those underwear are not called Super Balls.
They're not. They aren't. They're just Brady. They're just Brady underwear.
Who
Or something
don't want
like
to
it. Something
release
lame.
Super Balls on the Super Bowl? I mean, come on. You spell balls BAWLS too.
Like,
Come on.
do we really need the guy that's won 7 Super Bowls, that is filthy rich, that just got a $365 million contract to go on top of his filthy richness to flex even harder on the world than he did today? Like, why wake up and take a picture of yourself in your underwear? Everyone knows you're in decent shape. You're a football player. You're one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. But did you see the backdrop? That's what I was looking at. Like, where's this dude at? Like, he's like in this glass house by the ocean somewhere in some exotic location. Like, dude, we don't care. Go enjoy yourself. Have
Hey,
fun. But yeah, you ain't got to make us feel bad about waking up and being normal people today.
right. We woke up in our poor establishment with our dad bods, and
With
you're
our
out
fruit of
here.
the looms.
You're out here. Yeah, we have our normal Fruit of the Looms. You're out here in your Super Balls, out here in your mansion, your glass house with your perfect body. Shut up, Tom Brady. Go away. Why is there a moth? Do you see the moth that's
I
chasing me?
do. You got attacked. It's a
That's
Tom Brady
probably
fan.
Tom Brady's fan. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, but hey, no hate to Tom Brady though. Whatever, enjoy your retirement. But I had to bring that up. How ridiculous it was. So just 5 days left to the Super Bowl. We're going to be covering it like crazy. We actually talked about a couple things yesterday. Is the running game going to be the key to beating the Eagles in the Super Bowl? We talk about in this video right here. Make sure to watch that. Get in the comments, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell so you get notifications when we come out with new content. And we're going to be doing the Super Bowl coverage all week, so you need to be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
You guys
Go
go
Chiefs.
Chiefs.